everyone, and welcome to Creative Faith Cafe. Today I am using a stencil to make some stuffy lemons. For this month, I've been doing lemon crafts and to add to my tier tray. So I'm using some chalk paste and a silk screen lemon stencil. It's the Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy for Magnolia Design Company. And if you've never used um, this type of stencil, it is a lot of fun. It is reusable. You can use it up to about 15 times or so. You just wash it with cold water. So I'm taking a squeegee and I'm taking my yellow and I'm lightly going over the silk screen with some paste. I'm only doing this lemon section. So when you purchase stencils, you don't have to use the whole stencil. You can actually just use different parts of the stencil. If you're not comfortable that you thinking you may go ahead and you might go off the stencil into the other area, you can just tape it off. But I'm using a small squeegee that I feel comfortable enough that I don't have to worry about. I say that and I would probably slip, but um, you don't have to tape it off, but you can. And if you do, I would use washi tape or painter's tape, that blue tape, and I would like um fuzzy it up, like make it a little bit the tape a little bit less sticky, meaning I put it on my body or I put it on a towel just to get some of that stickiness away so that it doesn't pull on the stencil. You know what I mean? It doesn't stick real hard to the stencil. So I'm going to do two of them. Oh, I guess I should say I am doing this on duck cloth. So duck cloth is you can be purchased from a material store and basically is a very thick, sturdy material. I think they use it a lot on like boats and stuff like that. So I'm making two of them. And like I said, these are going to be stuffies. You're going to need the duck cloth, the some stuffing, scissors, of course. I'm using hot glue, not sewing them, which is really cool because even though I can sew, I like quick satisfaction. And you get that by just gluing them together. It's just for my tiered tray, so I'm not too concerned about that part of it. But this is a fun project. You can do something small like this, or you can do something even bigger. I think if you guys look back at some of my other videos, you'll see that I've done the mason jar before and some bunnies. It's just a really cool, fun way to express yourself. So, um, yeah. So I am using chalk paste. You can also use chalk ink if you want it to. Because I'm not washing this or anything, I'm not concerned about it. So you can do that. You can also prep your canvas or your duck canvas or duck cloth with some spray, some clear, hmm, yeah, clear spray, so that sealer spray, sorry, so that you can, it'll help with the absorption of the paste or the ink. So when you're doing cloth, excuse me, sometimes um, the way that the stencil sits on there, some ink or some paste can get under. So you want to make sure that when you're inking, that you have the stencil laying very flat and to the material. So then I decided that I would like to do a large full lemon. So I just went online. I usually Google or go on Pinterest, one or the other, and I look up some designs, or sometimes I'll draw it um, if I'm in the mood to draw. But I'm very critical on my drawing, so it's a lot quicker to just go and grab something offline. So I'm making two of these. And what I'm going to do is use my chalk paste and just paint with the chalk paste using a paintbrush. So there's no reason why you can't do that either. Of course, it's meant more so for the stencil itself, but I want the colors to remain the same. So I'm going to go ahead and paint those up. And now you see that I am doing this just on one piece um, of the canvas. I'm not, or the deck cloth. I'm not worrying about my other piece yet. So I do have a piece of paper in between my canvases. You see that you really don't need it, but I just put it there. So if that's something you want to do when you're painting or wax paper. So I'm going to cut out each piece, leaving about a quarter inch around the actual um, piece that I'm cutting out. This kind of just allows me to have some extra breathing room for cutting or gluing or whatever. When I've done this, I think um, I like to follow the line of um, the thing I'm cutting out. So meaning like I'm going to actually put my glue on the inside of the paint of the piece that I painted, and glue tip kind of matters. So I'm using hot glue. You do need to be careful with that. I don't see why you couldn't use tacky glue and use clips. I think it just will take a little bit longer to dry, depending on what you want to do. So I did um, separately cut these out, and now I cut a little piece of the cloth and I'm going to go ahead and glue. Now you just need to get used to your hot glue gun, and you do want to keep it opening because we're going to stuff these. So I'm just going kind of along the edge of where I painted. You just have to be careful. Some glue guns do have a smaller tip than others. Once it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and then cut around it. And part of the reason why we do this is because when you paint the duck cloth or a cloth, um, it could sometimes shrivel, like become smaller, like dry, shrink a little bit. So if you uh, glue them together first and then do it, it might come out awkward. I don't know. This is the way that I learned, so I just do it this way. Of course, this is just to inspire you, and um, you can do whatever you want with your um, your cloth. Okay, so I normally don't do lemons. It's really weird. Like all of a sudden this year I just decided, maybe it's because I decided to do the tiered tray. I mean, that's a lot of fun. If you're the type of person that likes little knick-knacky things, I think it's just easier to keep it all in one place and just have fun to theme it instead of trying to theme my whole house. So, keeps me in check. Kind of a challenge though too to find little things. I think it's fun to go to thrift stores too and find stuff. I just recently started trying to do some DIY, like refurbishing stuff, and it's been fun. So I'm just going ahead and gluing onto pieces of um, blank duck canvas. And I'm using just regular hot glue. There is a hot glue out there that you can use for fabric. I think that's more kind of for if you're washing something or you maybe if it gets wet. But I haven't used it yet, but maybe I'll try it and see the difference. So I'm actually cutting around, but I'm also cutting a little bit off of that 1/4 inch allowance that I left in the beginning. So I'm cutting it closer to where I paint it. And that's because for me, it just kind of aligns the two layers better, like cutting it that way. And remember, we left the opening, so we're going to do some stuffing. So there's my halves. That cloth is a lot of fun to work with. There's so much that you can do with it. It's a very sturdy material. All right, let's see. So now stuffing. I bought this surgical tool a long time ago. I don't even remember what they're called, but I'm sure you could probably find them online. Yeah. They're just a really fun tool to use because they're blunt and easy to get into, excuse me, small areas. If you find that the glue didn't stick in one area, then all you have to do is just glue it back up. Now I'm going to take my stencil again and I'm going to use the part of it that says lemon. I just thought that would look cute on there. As you see on the right there, I have a one that I did earlier. So the piece is completely dry. This one is not stuffed yet. This is my larger lemon. So I have not stuffed this one yet. I'm using a black chalk paste to go ahead and just use my lemon on stencil. So like I said earlier, you don't have to use the whole stencil. Just be sure when you're done to just go ahead and rinse it under cold water. And make sure that you're getting the whole stencil is covered. Voila, my lemon. You can wipe the stencil off with wipes. I would do that maybe just on smaller ones, not so much bigger ones. And then sometimes, because I'm newer to stenciling with these type of stencils, I miss I'm still getting used to the pressure because there is you don't want to have too much pressure and all that. But so I'll just go through, grab a small little knife, brush, and just add a little bit of um, where I missed. It's no big deal. Then I'm taking some white acrylic paint and I'm just making a few dots on my lemon. Set that aside. And there's my dots. I use pearls, little the stick-on pearl thingies. I thought maybe that would be cute, but I think I like the acrylic better. So I'm going to just go ahead and stuff this because this is one that I already made, and it's all dry. I did outline it in some black. I thought that would look cute. You can also use like beads and I don't know what they're, make those tassel strings that they make. I don't know exactly what they're called, but you can also do that. And you don't want to overstuff because I don't know. I guess you could just stuff it the way you want. All right. Okay, that's my stuffy tutorial for you today. I hope that you give it a try. Stuffies are fun. Remember, you can make them any size that you want. These are going into my tiered tray. Um, and that's that. So I enjoy sharing my creative time with you, from floral designing to my creative faith. If you do decide to do something, I would love for you to go over to Creative Faith Cafe and check out, and add a picture because I love to see the inspiration that I am able to give to you. Also, check out creativefaithcafe.com to see what's going on, um, what we have going on. So I hope that you all have a great day, and we will see you again soon.